Good evening. My name is Dominique Dame and I am president of the National Honor Society. Welcome to the 2019 spring induction of the Sutton High School National Honor Society. We have us with tonight 23 students who have worked exceptionally hard to uphold the characteristics of the National Honor Society. These students have progressed to demonstrate the values of knowledge, scholarship, leadership, character, and service in multiple ways. By volunteering, playing sports, participating in extracurricular activities, holding jobs, as well as maintaining a required grade point average, these students have proven themselves as capable new members of the Donald G. Schwab chapter of the National Honor Society. We recognize these students for all that they have accomplished, and we thank our administrators, teachers, parents, and families for helping everyone here this evening. Gwyneth Bachunas will now address the history of the National Honor Society.
For nearly 100 years, the National Honor Society has been the leading organization for recognizing outstanding students in secondary schools across the nation. Founded by Edward Reinierson in 1919 and endorsed by the National Association of Secondary School Principals in 1921, the main objective of the society is to stimulate the desire for scholarship, service, leadership, and the development of character of high school students throughout the country. The National Honor Society successfully promotes high academic and personal standards and improves the individual as well as the school community. Since its establishment, more than 12,500 chapters have been chartered. Each chapter is required to adopt the national constitution as well as develop chapter bylaws that document the local practices and procedures. Our chapter is named in honor of Donald G. Schwab, a longtime social studies and senior class advisor at Sutton Memorial High School. Doc Schwab, as he was called, was famous for requiring his students to sit in class with both feet on the ground at all times, a traditional yet timeless reminder that we should all remain grounded in all that we do. Guided over the years by dedicated advisors, our chapter has and will continue to promote high standards of the National Honor Society in the years to come. Sophia Maroney will now introduce the current members.
The current members are Gwyneth Bachunas, Sophie Briggs, Haley Burek, Madison Burek, Lauren Campbell, John Paul Capuano, Mackenzie Cox, Dominique Dame, Jonathan Delsignor, Laura Dufresne, Patrick Edwards, Carmela Flynn, Brian Costo, Alexia Lozado, Julie Pasenka, Margaret Rosillo, Aiden Stewart, Hannah Whittier, Dustin Acaselli, Lauren Averka, Jennifer Casino, Emily Day, Madeline Day, Max DeBow, Colleen Dunn, Connor Falkenberg, Julia Fees, Audrey Howe, Matthew Kaplan, Erin Milnerick, Hannah Nichols, Sydney Pollock, Jennifer Russo, Kevin Russo, Grace Sweeney, Bella Travers, Hannah Villi, Laura White, and Allison Wright. Aiden Stewart will now introduce the guest speaker.
National Honor Society is centered around the idea of a role model, a leader who is a shining example of how a helpful, kind, and motivated individual positively affects the people, environment, and community around them. This is why it is a great pleasure to invite Ms. Erickson to speak here tonight. Ms. Erickson has been involved in the Sutton community at least since she attended high school here and has become a teacher herself. And sadly, with it being her last year teaching at Sutton High School, she will be dearly missed. Please give a warm welcome to our speaker, Ms. Erickson.
Good evening, and thank you, Aiden, for the thoughtful introduction. I am humbled, honored, and grateful to be with you all tonight to commend the current members for their dedication and to celebrate and welcome the new members on their acceptance into the National Honor Society. I find it very fitting that the National Honor Society induction ceremony takes place at the beginning of spring, where the world is waking up and starting anew, bright green bursting from the trees, sprinkles of baby buds, and the sun warming the frozen earth. With the coming of spring comes my favorite part, the beautiful gardens and bright flowers. As a child, I remember having my own little secret garden all to myself, where I patiently tended the plants, made sugar water for the hummingbirds, weathered my fair share of bee stings, and fought the endless battle against relentless weeds. But the toil and effort were all worth it when I could relax in my sacred refuge for hours, reading Charlotte's Web or The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. I was so proud to watch as my flowers would bloom and grow, fluttering with life. My most treasured plant in my little garden was the marigold, and every year I would anxiously wait to see the bright bursts of gold, copper, and brass, as if I had many suns blooming in the backyard to greet me. Planted every spring, the marigolds became a part of my childhood and a source of comfort and joy, like an old friend. Years later, I stumbled upon an article by my personal educational guru, Jennifer Gonzalez, whose teaching philosophy always brought me inspiration. The article is titled "Find Your Marigold," and in her piece, Gonzalez discusses the special qualities of these flowers and how they represent a crucial component needed early on in a person's teaching career. She describes something called companion planting, which is a concept that is practiced by experienced gardeners. Gonzalez shares that marigolds are the best companions and protect a wide variety of plants from pests and weeds. If you plant a marigold beside most any garden vegetable or flower, that plant will grow big and strong and healthy, protected and encouraged by its marigold. A garden is not the only place where marigolds exist, and this certainly does not only apply to new teachers. Today, these members sitting before you are like the newly planted marigolds, who, now in bloom, have the special opportunity and privilege to make those around them better and stronger. Becoming a marigold is an admirable yet daunting step that each of you is making, and just as the pillars of character, scholarship, leadership, and service uphold the values of National Honor Society, so do the roots of the marigold firmly ground you all in this role of support for others. Acting as a companion to those around you is often underappreciated and may come with some sacrifice. But being a marigold is not about what you have accomplished for yourself, but what you help others to achieve. The scope of your influence will be far-reaching, and having all of you as students, I can say from personal experience that I am a better teacher and person because of all of you. Be a marigold in your community and watch how the garden thrives. Be a marigold in the classroom and support intellectual growth. Be a marigold in your relationships and help them blossom. And most importantly, be a marigold for yourself so that you may continue to nurture and provide compassion to everyone you encounter. For each of you, I have a small gift, a single marigold to signify this new role and the rewarding journey you are all about to begin. I hope it reminds you that no matter the hardships or challenges that you face, your impact on others is what will be remembered. Be someone's brightness, be someone's advocate, and be someone's marigold. Thank you again for having me here to celebrate with you all tonight. I wish you all the best. Thank you. We'll now have Laura White and Dustin Akaselli will give the acknowledgments to the current seniors.
We'd like to take a few moments to recognize the seniors who will be moving on next year to bigger and better things. As juniors and sophomores, the senior grade has been closely above us throughout our time here at Sutton Schools. They've always been known as a driven and talented grade with people with all sorts of passions and interests that aren't afraid to express them. Each individual has set themselves apart and made a huge impact on not only our school, but on our National Honor Society especially. Though these seniors may be departing us, their character, scholarship, leadership, and service that they've learned through the NHS has been passed on to those below them. Our NHS will remain an honorable and valuable club at the school thanks to the numerous lessons the senior class has taught us. Many of our members will be seniors next year, and we all hope to emulate these admirable seniors before us as we tirelessly continue to serve our community just as they did. Good luck to you seniors on all of your future endeavors.
Seniors, please stand when I read your college and major and remain standing until all members have been announced. The audience should please hold their applause until the end. Gwyneth Petunas is undecided. Sophie Briggs will attend the University of Massachusetts Boston and study biochemistry. Haley Burek will attend Western New England University and study pre-pharmacy. Madison Burek will attend Framingham State University and study biochemistry. Lauren Campbell will attend Concordia University and study international business. John Paul Capuano is undecided where he will attend to study biology. Mackenzie Cox will attend the University of Massachusetts Amherst and study neuropsychology. Dominique Dame is undecided where she will attend, but will study elementary education. Jonathan Delsignor will attend the University of Massachusetts Amherst and study English. Laura Dufresne will attend Worcester Polytechnic Institute and is undecided. Patrick Edwards will attend Marist College and study political science. Carmela Flynn will attend Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute and will study biomedical engineering. Brian Costu will study Bryant University and study communications. Alexia Lozado is undecided where she will attend to study biology. Sophia Maroney is undecided where she will also attend to study biology. Julie Pasanga is undecided where she will attend to study marketing. Margaret Rizidlo is undecided where she will attend to study chemical engineering. Aidan Stewart will attend Dartmouth College to study neuroscience. And Hannah Whittier will attend Elmira College to study childhood and special education.
Dominique Dame will now lead the lighting of the candles.
At this point, we will begin the formal induction of the new members to our chapter. Our first step in this process is the lighting of the candles, which symbolizes the foundation and the four cornerstones that form the basis for selection and continued membership in the National Honor Society. Next, the current senior members will induct the new members into the society. Finally, the inductees will be asked to recite the National Honor Society pledge. And now, Alexia Lozado will start the lighting of the candles that represents the candle of knowledge.
Knowledge can be defined as familiarity, awareness, or understanding gained through experience or study. However, knowledge is not the simple ability to memorize or retain facts or trivia. It is a constant interaction with information and with individuals that increases our understanding of the world and helps to shape us into the people that we are and will become. Catherine Pulsifer said, "Our ability to achieve success depends on the strength of our wings gained through knowledge and experience. The greater our knowledge and experience, the higher we can fly. The harder we strive to achieve knowledge today, the more successfully we will thrive in the years to come. After all, as Francis Bacon said, knowledge is power."
Jennifer Russo will now light the candle of character.
Character is the force within that distinguishes us from others. It gives each of us individuality and allows us to respect ourselves as well as to garner the respect of others. It is the force of character that guides us through life and once developed, grows steadily within us. Character is achieved and not received. It is the product of constant action and daily striving to make the right choices. The difficulty in maintaining good character is the problem of self-control. We must be, in reality, what we wish to appear to others. By demonstrating such qualities as reliability, honesty, and sincerity, we hope to prove by example that we value character. John Delsignor will now light the candle of scholarship.
Scholarship demands a commitment to learning. A student who is willing to spend hours reading and studying knows the benefits of a cultivated mind. We should continue to learn, even when formal education has ended, since learning is a lifelong endeavor. Scholarship leads to the greatest success in life, and can be acquired in only one way, through diligence and effort. Learning furnishes the lamp by which we read the past, and is the light that illuminates the future. As members of the National Honor Society, we accept the charge to expand our world continually through the opportunities inherent in scholarship.
Rex DeBow will now light the candle of leadership.
Leadership should exert a positive influence on the entire community. In taking the initiative in class, school, and community activities, the real leader strives to encourage and assist others to attain the same objective. As Stephen R. Covey states, a leader communicates to people their worth and potential so clearly that they come to see it themselves. The price of leadership is sacrifice, the willingness to forego our own interests for the interest of others. A leader has self-confidence and will go forward when others hesitate. Leadership is always needed, and for that reason, it is an important charge to each of our members.
Sydney Pollock will now light the candle of service.
Service. The contribution to the welfare of others can be expressed in a variety of ways. It can be undertaken formally by assisting with established community or school volunteer programs, or it can be carried out informally by responding to the opportunities to help others that arise in daily life. The willingness to work without monetary compensation or without recognition for the benefit of those in need is the quality we seek in our membership. As members of the National Honor Society, we are committed to the idea of volunteering our time and abilities to the creation of a better tomorrow. To being as Gandhi said, if we could change ourselves, the tendencies in the world would also change.
We will now induct the new members of the Sutton Memorial High School's National Honor Society. Gwyneth Pechunas will now induct Abigail Sumner. Hannah Nichols will now induct Leah Stowe. Jennifer Casino will now induct Megan Perry. John Paul Capuano will now induct Connor Pattinson. Sophia Maroney will now induct Jenna Salem. Audrey Howe will now induct Meredith Melia. Allie Wright will now induct Madison Petrus. Bella Travers will now induct Kyle Mendoza. Emily Day will now induct Emily Kasserick. Dustin Akaselli will now induct Emma Hersom. Brian Costa will now induct Colton Hargrave. Julia Faze will now induct Haley Hedge.
Jennifer Risa will now induct Leah Garabedian.
Colleen Dunn will now induct Madison George. Connor Falkenberg will now induct James Draper. Alexia Lozado will now induct Emily Donovan. Laura White will now induct Laura Dennis. Mackenzie Cox will now induct Julia Cusick. Hannah Whittier will now induct Juliana Kushner. Meg Razidla will now induct Owen Boynes. Julie Pasenko will now induct Megan Burke. Sophie Briggs will now induct Chloe Adamowicz. Lauren Campbell will now induct Berkeley Adamowicz.
The new inductees will now repeat the oath of inductees. I pledge myself to uphold the high purpose of the National Honor Society, to which I have been selected. I will be true to the principles for which it stands. I will be loyal to my school. And I will maintain and encourage high standards of character, scholarship, leadership, and service. Please give a round of applause to the new members of the Sutton.
So new members, you guys can blow out your candles and walk back to your seats. You can walk back to your seats and put the candles into the bucket again. Is there another bucket over there? Okay.
Madeline Day will now introduce our recipient of the Service Award for the year.
Every year, the NHS gives a service award to a staff member who exemplifies the many positive qualities seen in NHS members. The recipient is kind, hardworking, smart, dedicated, and always willing to listen. They exemplify the definition of service, helping someone for the sake of helping. I've been lucky enough to have had this teacher for 2 years now, and I can confidently say that she's all of those things. She strives to help her students fully understand what she's teaching, even if it means coming up with 3 different ways to explain the lesson. If I have a question about homework, I know that I can go to her room during the day or after school, and she'll be there. Or if I email her, she'll get back to me as soon as she can. I remember one weekend when my friends and I had a question for her that had absolutely nothing to do with class, but nonetheless, she responded within the hour. Her room is one I always feel comfortable walking into because I know that she is there to help me, and though it's challenging, class is always fun and interesting. More than that, it's clear that this teacher truly cares for her students. If someone is having a bad day or there's something difficult going on in their life, she'll take the time to listen and try to help in any way that she can. If it's just a bad day, she helps us with stress from other classes and makes our class more fun. And she's more than happy to advise students on schedules in colleges and other problems where her honesty, sarcasm, and constant support is always appreciated. In many ways, this is one of the most important qualities in the recipient of this award. They do what they do because they want to help their students succeed in life, not just in the single class they teach. This teacher is a genuine source of positivity and humor at SHS, and she is a favorite of so many students. She's someone I can always go to if I need help, and it is clear to anyone that goes into her classroom that her dedication to her job and students is monumental. It's an honor to present this year's NHS Service Award to Ms. Fleming.
I just want to say thank you. For most of you, I've had you for 2 years, maybe just 1 year, but you all have been a pleasure, and I really enjoy teaching you. And every day I come in and I love going into your class. And I love going into your classes, so I appreciate it. Thank you.
Congratulations, new members of the National Honor Society. We again acknowledge you all for proving yourselves to be loyal leaders, characters, scholars, and for showing your appreciation for service and knowledge. I hope that you will always continue to demonstrate these characteristics in the school and the community, and live up to all the values of the National Honor Society. Thank you again for the teachers, families, parents, and friends for all of the support you have given us. We invite you all to congratulate our newest members at a receiving line and to join us for a reception with light and refreshments in the cafeteria to celebrate the success of the new inductees. Thank you all for coming.